The twilight last city. Oh, the red white flag on a super city. Came through the night, and our flag was still there. Who say does that Star Spangled Banner? Hey, 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 on the red, on the red. Yo, yo. It is Wednesday. It is live day. And if you can tell by now, man, we are making a lot of money. Making a lot of money in these markets, man. But guess what? There's a lot more money to be made. A whole lot more money to be made. We're in a once in a life generational. If you missed the .com bubble, this is the closest you're gonna get. I think this is even gonna be better. It's already happening, but I think it's even better. It's even better. Trying to get on tomorrow. Get on now. No. This is the last, man. First of all, we knew all this was coming. Like, if you've been paying attention at all, like we knew the market was going to rally tremendously. I think it's going to rally even more tremendously. I think the market still has a lot of legs to go to the upside. Okay, I still think the market needs to make a lot of people believers. Oh, and it will make some people some believers. Okay, we're going to be looking at a few stocks. We're going to be talking about a few narratives that are going to end up playing out. Right? It's just a matter of if we're going to be early. Um, it's just a matter of if we're going to be early, right? Are we going to be early, or or is it going to play out? As soon as we talk about it. That's the only thing we got to pay attention to now. Is it going to play out? Like that's the only thing we got to pay. That's the only thing we got to make sure we're paying attention to now. Is it going to play out when we're talking about it right now, or is it going to take a few weeks? I think it's going to be very very quick. I think not even thinking more. Like we've seen this play out. Like we knew this move was coming as quick as this. Okay, I think the move that's going to play out now it's even going to be quicker. It has to be. It's even going to be quicker. Okay, I think the move to 32K. Wait, yeah, I think the move to 32K makes a lot of sense. 32K on the Nasdaq. I think that pushes the where we're at, like maybe like 10 more, 10 more percent. I actually want to see on the Qs where that is. See if it matches up with what we're talking about, and I think it does. Yeah, just quite. So I think the Nasdaq, or I think the Qs is actually going to overtake, the price of the S&P. I'm not saying it's going to be more value, but I think the Qs is going to end up, being a higher price than the S&P 500. But that's just a theory that I have. That's a theory that I've had since this was, $500. But anyways, let's look at some individual stocks. China is definitely ready. China's definitely ready. Small caps soon. Small caps have already been going. Before we even get in anything, we like the sectors that are like we know the sectors that are getting rotated into. Okay, we know that the money's rushing into semiconductors, but more so than semiconductors, I think like these analog semiconductors. Like, I'm gonna give you guys a little freebie here. Like, I think NXPI. Okay, NXPI like and NXPI. If you look at, oh my goodness, I don't even know why I'm sharing this with some of you guys. I really don't. I really don't. But I have another one on the burner. That's why it's like, okay, I'll share it. NXPI. Okay, when you're looking at NXPI, this thing is just now breaking out from its all-time high. It's really just been consolidating for almost 4 years. But now is the time because we have a robot. I think robotics and robots and everything that has to do with robots is gonna end up getting this next leg to the upside. Okay, and NXPI, there's some more that I'm paying attention to, but this one specifically, they have the chance. They have the chance, the opportunity, okay, to start going absolutely nuclear. I have some price targets like 530, okay, and some of you guys are like, whoa, no way. This is the market we're in, okay. This is the market we're in. This is the market win. So I'm definitely paying attention to XPI. But let's look at a few other stocks. Somebody said OUST. And you best believe we're making money from OUST today. Okay? We got it at like $31. OUST. I think they make like lidar sensors for robots, like so the robots can see. But I think there's so many better plays. I think that's the small cap play, and it could definitely run. I think it still has some legs, but there's bigger cap plays that are out there as well. But we hit meta today. We got into some swings. We got in a fuel cell like 2 days ago. Those are already up almost 200%. Look, man, so much. Look, the thing is, we talked about this. We're gonna be able to throw darts. Okay, we're gonna be able to throw darts at anything, and it's just gonna hit. Okay, so if you're not making money right now, just throw a dart. Just throw a dart and make sure you're in calls and make sure it has something to do with what the market is doing. Okay, don't just sit in here getting the calls on a meat beyond meat. Don't get in the, like you still gotta make sure you're with the theme of the market. Okay, don't just sit in here throwing darts at anything. You gotta throw darts at some tech, perhaps some you gotta do a tiny bit of research, right? But other than that, it should be very very simple, very very simple. Okay. But let's look at Tesla. I think Tesla's ready to go absolutely wild. I think it's actually going to lead this. I think it's going to lead the robotics. Okay, I think they have robot. Look, man. Oh my gosh, Tesla's going to lead. Okay, I think, and it's already happening. It's already been happening. It's now above the party start level. I think it's going to end up holding above here. Okay, let me just show you guys what's going to end up happening with Tesla. Okay, because Tesla is only 1.67 trillion, and we have stocks, Google, right? Google, Nvidia, Apple, they're all touching 5 trillion, going to 6 trillion, maybe 7 trillion. Look, man. So you have a low-hanging fruit with Tesla. This is an easy grab, a very easy grab for something like Tesla, especially when they start announcing all these robots, and we get the robot euphoria. We're already in the semiconductor euphoria. More euphorias are gonna get added. Okay, just like we saw with gold. Okay, just like we saw with gold and silver. Just like we saw with what was the other one? Oil. We're gonna get more euphorias added on to this euphoria. Okay, and it's just gonna be very fun for this month, for these coming weeks and months. But there will be an end. Okay, like come on now. I hope you guys don't think the music is gonna play forever, and we're gonna be like, no, we're at the peak of the market, the music playing. Okay, this is where everything's flowing. Everybody's talking, having a good time. You know, and this is where you make the most. This is where you end up making the most amount of your money, with the easiest amount of just easy stuff. Okay, so with Tesla, the party has now started. Now, why did I say the party has started? Because you look at the fibs, okay? You look at where the fibs, you drop from the swing high to swing low. The fibs is at this 618 that you see right here. That means if it can start closing above, which it is, on the daily time frame, it's already done that for the past 3 days, okay? It's already done that for the past 3 days, sitting there now, very comfortable, very strong. The market is very strong. Tesla in China, Tesla about to do some robots, Tesla, SpaceX about to, look, man, very, very strong. So the party has started, and by party start, when the party starts, that means this now has the potential to reach the swing high from where we drew it at, okay? So you have the swing high, which is sitting at 497, but you best believe this is not going to double top. We're not in a double top market, like I continue to say time and time again. We're not a double top market. You may get some sort of pullback, sure, but ultimately Tesla is on its way to 600, maybe even 750, okay? This is not the market where you want to go short. But I will say, could we have a pullback along the way? Of course, but the music is still playing. The market is going to be very fun, and you want to make sure you're adding some long swings. And this is why people get cooked, okay? This is how people get cooked. They sit here and they try to time the market, okay? They're trying to they think Tesla's going to go to 500 overnight. They think Tesla's going to go to 500 by tomorrow. They think Tesla's going to go to 500 by next week. No, Tesla's going to go to 500 maybe in June, okay? Maybe. Why not by time? Maybe July. Why not by the 500 July 500 calls, right? Why not? Why not position? But this is where people mess up. They're not patient. Okay? They're not patient. This is where that's the only way you're gonna mess this up. And some of you guys have already been seeing you messing this up because you want to sit here and not be patient. I'm just saying, like I've already seen it, and the reason I'm saying it is because I've seen it. I'm seeing it in real time. People they don't listen. They're trying to get some. They're trying to come in here. They're trying to get, they don't know what they're doing. It's hard. Like, they don't know what they're doing. They're not being paid. They're trying to get some 0 days every single day. Like, no, we're in a trend market. Okay, you're in a trend market. And we've been in the trend market since April. And me telling you now that it's way up here, you should really like, come on. We've been in a trend market. You should have noticed as soon as we got like right here. We just like, yeah, oh yeah, we're in a trend market now. That's when you should have knew. Okay, I shouldn't have to be telling you we're in a trend market way up here. Okay, because now you missed $100 move. This is $100 move you missed. Okay. Now right here, no, we're not in a trend move. This is where trades make a lot of sense. Sure, we're in a consolidation market. But now we've been in a trend market since the beginning of April, all of April, all of May almost. Okay. Anyways, let's move on. Let's look at some other stocks. How can we get into SpaceX prior to IPO? I think what is the stock? My boy Leo always messes with it. I don't know. I forgot it. I forgot it. I forgot it. I forgot. But yeah, Tesla looks great. Put in the comments what stocks you guys want to look at. We'll look at them. Amazon, we got to look at Amazon because I think Amazon's another one that is just ready to go absolutely nuclear. The reason being, the reason why I think Amazon's ready to go nuclear is because it's at 3 trillion. Okay, this can easily get to 4 trillion. We have Google, Nvidia, all these we've got the blueprint. Okay, and especially when you look at Google, I'm gonna show you guys this really quick. When you look at Amazon right here, you look at what's happening with Amazon. You're having its first decent pullback since the rally from 200 all the way to 275. You're getting its first decent pullback. Okay, the same thing recently happened to Google. Okay, the same thing happened to Google, where it had its massive rally from 270 all the way to 400, had its pullback right here, and now you see it getting absolutely bopped back up, all the way up back to all-time highs. Okay, I think Amazon's going to end up doing the exact same thing. And the best thing about Amazon is that it hasn't really broken out. It hasn't really broken out. It hasn't really broken out since this right here. Okay, since November 3rd, since March 2025. Like it really hasn't had an amazing rally out of these, like we've seen with Nvidia, or not Nvidia, but like we've seen with Google, like we've seen with some of these other Mag 7 stocks. So Amazon to me is one of the easy low hanging fruits, like Tesla. I think it can get to 296, maybe even 350, maybe 400. Yeah, maybe 400. And not only that, this is oh my gosh, they make it this easy. Sometimes it's just that easy. It's monthly hidden diverging. Okay, it's monthly hidden bull diverging. RSI completely reset. Okay, it has a lot of room. It has a lot of room to go to the upside. It really does. I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. But like I said, we don't the thing is we don't know. We don't know if it's coming tomorrow. We don't know if it's coming next week. So the best thing that you could do is buy time and average into those contracts. That's the best thing that you do. The best thing you can do is sit in here. Okay, I'm about to buy some July 300s on Amazon. Okay? Because maybe a pullback comes. Maybe a small pullback comes. But I know the market is going to continue to march to the upside. Okay? And we've even reset on the daily, down here. This is just nasty. We've reset completely. This is daily bull diverging. Okay? Love it. Klarna, I'm not interested in Klarna. Let me see, man. I'm not interested in stocks like this, and it has earnings tomorrow. I'm not interested in stocks like this. I'm interested in mainly until the narrative. Look, what I've came to realize, until the narrative switches, until you actually get okay, money's clearly rotating into here. You want to steer clear. Money is currently in tech, in semiconductors, in space stuff, in data centers, in cooling of that. It's all AI. Okay, that's what it is. That's where it's at. And currently you're kind of getting a rotation into a lot of healthcare, though. I will say that that one's getting a little bit more clear. I think you could be early a little bit, but Klarna, I don't know. It has earnings. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. Somebody said Microsoft. We'll look at Microsoft. A lot of you guys want to look at Microsoft because it's getting cooked. It's getting cooked, and the reason being is because this is just not where the money's at. It's not in software right now. It's just not. So It's just not. So I'm not gonna sit in here and say, where what Microsoft is gonna end up doing. We could do a little TA on it, and it tells me that the fibs could possibly take it back to 394 ish. The money is not in software. It's nowhere to be found in software. Perhaps it comes back, but you're kind of guessing. You're kind of guessing. Versus you could just get into like this is where you want to be looking at the stocks that have something to do with what the market where money wants to go. Okay, and Microsoft is not where money currently wants to go. They're actually scared of disruption, whatever. So it's just not where money wants to go. So I would focus on I would focus on um, where money wants to go. It says it can get to 394. Um, you know, this is nasty. I would for a reversal, like if you wanted to look for some sort of reversal, like a trend reversal, maybe above 418. That'll make me a bit more bullish on it. But if you want to be super early, sure. Get if you want to be super early and you think Microsoft, sure. But this is just not where money's at. So to me, I think there's a lot better options out there. I really do. I really do. Nokia is going absolutely crazy. My boy Nix is in Nokia, and we've actually been talking. A lot of people making a bunch of money in Nokia, and this is where money's at. Nokia. This is where money's at. It's in Nokia, and Nokia is going crazy. Bunch of money being made on Nokia. It's already gone, so I don't really want to look at it too much. You really want to be positioning yourself, over here, even yesterday, really. So, you know, it's gone. Fuel cell. My boy said fuel cell. Yes, this is where money's at. Money's heading into here now. I will say fuel cell is at the first target, okay? And I'm actually going to show you guys what we're in the Discord. You go to the link in the bio if you want to join. You get a free trial. It's free. But you literally look at July 17th. This was yesterday. The fuel cell calls, okay? These are up like 200%. You could look at them now. You can get into these same ones. Pump our bags if you must, okay? If you will, pump our bags. We're getting at $16, but it hit its first target. If it can start trading above $20.50, the next target is to $35. And if you guys know Bloom Energy, which they're like battery storage, which I believe data centers need them because they want like 24/7, power, something like that. Okay, Bloom Energy is at 80 billion, and Fuel Cell currently does the same thing. They just don't have partnerships as much, I would say. But as soon as they get some partners, as soon as people start realizing like, oh, this tech is the same tech, oh man, this could really start flying. Okay, I think this one is a moon type of stock. The stocks that you want to look for in a euphoric market. Okay, you don't want to sit in here in Beyond Meat, just getting into cheap stuff because you think the entire market is gonna moon. That's not true. Okay, like Lemonade, I liked Lemonade on this first rally that it had in last year. I liked it here, but now I'm not a fan of Lemonade. I'm not a fan of Lemonade. I'm just not. I think Lemonade could actually trade a lot lower here. Like Shopify, okay? Like some of you guys are trying to buy Shopify. Like, no, this is not where money's at, okay? Like, you people are trying to get out of here as quick as possible and rotate their money into something that, okay, like at least this narrative is here. Like people are getting cooked trying to get into some random stuff, okay? Like somebody wants to look at EMPH. I actually really like EMPH. GFS, love GFS. I want to look at crypto going soon. What's your best, Riot or Mar? I like Riot a lot more. People didn't believe me when I was talking about Riot. Now they're believers all of a sudden. Riot is going to continue to go crazy. I like EMPH. I meant to get in yesterday. I didn't. But EMPH, I like it. I like it. It's an energy type of style. I like it. I like it. Now it is already going. We could look at some price targets on it, etc. Where it needs to start trading above, and it's trading above where one of the prices it needs to trade above hit the other price it needs to trade above, and the next price to really start going is above $44. Okay, if it can get above $44, it's then pushing 52. Like the party's gonna start hard. Okay, so I'd be looking at EMPH to start trading above $44. If it can get above there, it's gonna really start going, and that's probably where I'll start paying attention to it a bit more. But like I said, these are the stocks. Okay, like EMPH, I love it, and a lot of people aren't even paying attention to it just yet. Okay, you can be very early on something like EMPH, and I like Fuel Cell a bit more, but EMPH is great. Plug is another one. Where's Tesla going? We looked at Tesla like when the live started. Okay, I think Tesla could get to 600. I really do. I really do. I really do. Baba, I'm in Alibaba. I think Baba's great. I think Alibaba's great. I think Baidu's a bit better, but I like Alibaba. Um, it's ready for its next leg. Obviously, it needs above 148. You can see me charting this earlier, but we've been talking about Alibaba like this entire situation here. I think Alibaba's ready for an all-time high type of move. I think the China market is very bullish. The thing that I like most about Alibaba, let me delete all this. It does need to trade above 148. Don't get me wrong. But the thing I like most about it is that it is hidden bull diverging on a monthly time frame. Okay, we have, oh my gosh, I remember like in March, we were talking about like the fear and greed index at like 2. Okay, it was at 2, and people came in here. They were talking about no, the market's going lower. It's the same thing, like time and time again. Like even the tariffs back in 2025. We come on here tell you about the dip. We came on here when the Iran news was at peak. This was at 2, and people were no, I think 10. I don't think it ever got to 2, but it was at 10 or maybe 8. And I was like, bro, buy the dip. Okay, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. We're going in an extreme bull market. Okay, and it's just playing out time and time again. But when you look at Baba, I think Baba's ready for extreme move to the upside. But one that I like even more is Baidu, okay? And I'm gonna show you guys what we're in on Baidu, okay? Because we're making a bunch of money from Baidu. I'm gonna just show you because Baidu is ready to go to 250. Earnings in 5 days though, so I'm a little bit scared of that. But if you look at, let me show you something. Before, look at this, man. Look at Baidu. Okay, look at this entire thing. Take a screenshot if you must, just so you can go back and research. Okay, look at this entire thing for Baidu. Okay, and then come over here, go to Alibaba, and look at this entire thing. What do you notice? What do you notice? I notice that Baidu is probably like right here. Okay, it hasn't had that first impulsive move to the upside yet, but it will. But it will. And when you look at Baidu, you just scroll out on a monthly time frame. You just look at what's been taking place over its entire like since 2011. This thing's been stuck in consolidation. What happens when the entire market's going to pure euphoria in China, which I think they will. I think they will. I think they will. I think they will. I think markets go a lot higher. You have 248, and you have Baidu possibly getting to 500. Okay, now I'm gonna chill a little bit. I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna see what it does at 250. I'm gonna see if it can get to 250 first. But this consolidation that it's had for 3 years, it could possibly be ready for massive move to the upside. Now it does have earnings in 5 days, so we got to pay attention to see what happens there. That could be the Kickstarter. So you could be early, it could be late. But I'll show you guys what we're in on Baidu anyways, just because we're already making money from Baidu. We're already making money from Baidu, so I'll just show you guys what we're in. We got these April 24th, July 17th, 190s at 130. Okay, back when Baidu was what? Oh, $128, $22 ago. So I'm telling you guys, how you actually play a trend market. If you're just sitting here getting into day trades and 0 days to expiration, you're gonna end up losing. Okay, it's very hard to trade every single day. It's very like come on now. Why do that when you're walking over dollars trying to pick up pennies? Okay, that's what you're doing. So swing trades are definitely where you want to be able to is where you want to be at. Okay, but anyways, Apple's crazy. I love Apple. Is Carvana the next Duolingo? I don't know. I want to look at SE, but is Carvana the next Duolingo? Oh, Carvana split. Oh wow. I think Carvana could possibly be the next Duolingo. I mean, I don't get the point of. I don't know how it's even 76 billion, especially when not many people are buying cars, right? Like, first of all, before I get off of here, like we know these numbers are terrible. We know the data is terrible. We know that there's the highest record ever of sellers of houses and homes that there's ever been. We know that CPI, we know inflation's rising. We know unemployment's coming. We know these things. We know we're in a downturning economy. Like we're going to end up being in a recession here very soon. So yes, I do think nobody's buying cars. Like no, and how is this even 76 billion? So yeah, sure, I think this could definitely have a huge downfall. Um, I mean, you look at Home Depot, right? You look at Home Depot, like nobody's messing with Home Depot. Like you look at Zillow, like this is what I mean. Like you don't want to be in stocks that, like you look at Zillow, like nobody getting in Zillow. Nobody's getting into anything that's not really AI and tech. Okay. Okay. So, anyways, I hope you guys. Somebody said a full pour in Carvana calls tomorrow. Good luck, bro. Hopefully you make some money. But yeah, anyways, I'll talk to you guys later, man. Everything is linked in the bio if you need anything. Hopefully this live made sense. Hopefully we catch some bangers tomorrow, man. You know, we will. Uh, but you guys have a great rest of your night, man. Thank you for tuning in. Tesla 600 time frame. I think it could play out in like July. I think it's gonna happen, quicker than we all think. Um, but anyways, whole lot of money made. Whole lot of money to be made. Okay, like I said, my favorite was NXPI. Do your research. Love NXPI. I like TXN as well. But TXN is kind of already gone. But if you look at the blueprint of what TXN is doing, right? You look at how far ahead this one is, um, and then you go look at NXPI and how they like TXN didn't break out for 5 years. Okay, 2021 it was right here. Now 5 years later you see it doing what it's doing. NXPI NXPI is literally the same thing. Okay, it hasn't broken out since 2021. It's gonna end up getting a massive breakout. All right. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys later, man. I'm out. Peace. My boy wanna look at Billy. My boy wanna look at Billy. Um, and the funny thing is, we saw Billy coming down because it didn't get above its party to start level. Drag down. It actually dragged down a bit more. So I actually want to see this back above 27.35 before I say anything. And like I said, the same thing that I'm saying for U.S. stocks, like you want to pay attention to what sector you're in, is the same thing with China as well. This is a software. This is like YouTube. Okay, it doesn't have anything to do with tech. Baidu is very very like they're Google. Like they're very very tech oriented. Baba very very tech oriented. So I focus on stuff like that instead of stuff like Billy. Okay, but anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. And at least wait for this to get above $27, right? Above $27, maybe I talk about it differently. But if it's trading anywhere below 27, I'm not interested. But anyways, I'll talk to you guys later, man. I'm out. Peace.